The word humility comes from the Latin root word humus, which means earth or soil. The same Latin term is at the root of our word for humanity. An act of humility always involves keeping ourselves in our place as created human beings, as earthly. That's just the opposite of sin, which follows the example of the builders of the Tower of Babel, who tried to force their way into the divine realm, leaving their earthly origins behind and transforming themselves into gods. And the color of the earth, of the soil, is brown, the same as the color of the cross. The cross is the stage of the greatest act of humility in human history, which prepared for the monstrous act of pride at the dawn of that history. The cross was central for Christ's mission because Jesus came to atone for all sin, and only an act of absolute humility could do that. And only Jesus, true God and true man, could make an act of absolute humility. For the rest of us, humility, being earthly, dependent, close to the humus, is our natural state. It's what we're supposed to be. Pride and arrogance are the aberrations. But Jesus Christ is the divine Word become man. He deserved to be revered and worshipped and elevated. And yet, for our sake, to redeem us from sin, to fix what we had broken and couldn't fix ourselves, He chose to be scorned, rejected, and humiliated to the extreme. If Jesus hadn't have humbled Himself, then we would have no hope of recovering the abundant eternal life that we forfeited with original sin and that we long for in the depths of our hearts. Humility is the soil from which true spiritual happiness springs, just as humus is the soil from which all earthly plants grow. Picture a high mountain, a snow-covered mountain. Where would you rather live, on the peak of that towering mountain or in the valley at its foot? The peak is far away, magnificent, impressive, but there is no life there. Only snow, rocks, and cold wind. Nothing can grow in those harsh conditions. The valley is closer, less visible, less impressive from a distance, but it is teeming with life. The sun melts the snow on the peak, and the waters flow down the mountain and irrigate the valley, giving it glorious life. Pride is like the peak of that mountain, and humility is like the valley. Jesus, by humbling Himself and accepting death on a cross, melted the pride of our fallen human family and renewed the flow of grace in our hearts, giving us new life, new hope,